From now on, anytime I hear about the Luigi situation or hear somebody talking about the Luigi situation, I'm just gonna hit them with the. I mean, I would whistle too if I could whistle, but I can't whistle. So this is all I'm gonna hit them with, cause that's the vibe it's giving me. This whole thing.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
This needed to happen. We needed a collective wake-up call because I think we're finally starting to realize that this isn't it. This is no longer right versus left. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. This is no longer even wealthy versus poor. This is super ultra wealthy, the kind of wealth that you and I could not even fathom, and everybody else. You either have the type of money where you can go into space for mere minutes. I'm looking at you, Katy Perry. Or you have just enough money to get by, and one wrong move, one lost paycheck, one illness, you can lose absolutely everything you've ever had. Going into this election, I thought we were so much further as a country. I thought we were so close to getting paid parental leave and universal preschool and better healthcare coverage and protecting the rights of women and the LGBTQIA community and immigrants. And here we are. Here we are. And I was so wrong. And I think that myself and the other half of the country really lived in this kind of bubble where we really didn't think that our country could truly go this far low. And now we're all starting to wake up. We're starting to really see where we need to put our anger and place the blame, and that we're already in an oligarchy and we cannot accept that this is the future of our country. And if we don't start to stand up and speak out and actually pay attention to the news and the politics and what's happening in the world, then there isn't going to be anything left for our children or our children's children. And they're going to think about what their grandparents did or didn't do during this time. And I want to make sure that I knew that I can say that I stood up and said, what the fuck is going on?
How about a few years ago when they made us all go cashless? You remember that? They pushed no cash, no cash. Card everywhere was accepted. They were turning away cash. Remember? I remember that. And then all of a sudden, now we have to use a card, and now we have to pay the 3% fee on every card transaction. Now we're all getting charged at gas stations to use our card. Anywhere I go, I've been charged to use my card, my debit card. So they gave us the push to go cashless years ago, and now they're charging us to go cashless. And the companies have to pay for it, and so now they're putting that charge on the consumer. The companies pay to rent the machine. This is just a charge that the banks and those companies can instill because they have that right. I'm sure it's written in their contract, and now it's being pushed on us. How far are we really going to allow this to happen? They use our taxes to send to other fucking countries. They use our taxes to line their pockets. They use our taxes for everything that has to do with them and nothing with us. And then they tax us, and then they charge us, and then these corporations can come in and just shove it in our asses, and we've got to take it. When are we... What are they going to do if we stop paying taxes? What are they going to do if we all stop paying taxes? Why are we still doing this? Why are we all just sitting here okay with what the fuck is going on? We bitch about it every day. What the fuck? We are so brainwashed and manipulated into thinking that we can't do shit. It is sad. Like, we are allowing the demise of the American dream, the American people, and we are allowing our government to do this shit. It's fucking sad. Like, what is it going to take for us to realize this? We should not be paying 15, 20, 30% taxes, period. On top of a state tax, on top of taxes being taken out. When our paychecks, when we get paid, we have to pay a tax. Our employer has to pay a tax just for our paycheck. When are we going to put a stop to this. They spend our taxpayer money on themselves, and we're allowing it.
Okay, quick show of hands. How many of us recognize that it's all of us kind of against the 1%? Like, are we all seeing that? Are you seeing that? Are there people out there that don't agree with that? The way I'm thinking about it is like the Hunger Games, right? We have the districts. We have the alt-right, the extreme right, the conservatives, the MAGAs. We have the district of the moderates and the centrists and the left centers. And then you have the district of the extreme left, the progressives, the socialists. And we're all fighting against each other. But the capital is the 1%. It's the billionaires, it's the trillionaires, it's the ones behind the scenes that are writing Project 2025 for Trump, or who are the IDU and setting down the playbook for the alt-right. And we're all busy fighting with each other, and we're not paying attention to the bigger picture. And I know that's such an extreme example of it, but that's what's happening. Are we seeing that? And that doesn't mean to say that we don't need to still continue to work out our differences, because this is the situation we're living in and we can't just change it. But I think if we spent a little less time fighting amongst ourselves, we could start to see the bigger picture. But are we seeing the bigger picture? Like, do you see it? Do you not see it? I guess that's my biggest question. Who are you out there? You don't agree. Who out there doesn't agree that that's really what's going on? The 1% is like the capital, and the rest of us are like the districts, and we're just being played against each other.
So what I want to know is, when do we collectively acknowledge that we're living in a modern day version of the Hunger Games? Hear me out. Past 6-7 months have been absolutely insane. For one, there have been hurricanes and floods that have wiped out cities in the mountains. We've had planes that have either crashed and or fallen out of the sky at a ridiculously alarming rate. We've had no answers or explanations as to why this all of a sudden is happening. It's actually just kind of gotten pushed to the back of the media now that everything else is going on. 3, we've had fog. Multiple people have been reporting like sites of like unusual fog that they're saying are making them sick. I haven't heard any official reports about this or the government acknowledge this in even the slightest. We've had fires wipe out multiple cities in California. And now my fiance told me yesterday that people are starting to report that they're seeing blue rain. Not like regular blue rain, but like deep royal blue rain. And when you drink it, it's causing people to hallucinate. What is going on? And why am I still going to work to pay bills?
Guys, we are living in a very dark time. Not only are things very expensive, but the whole world is very uncertain and unsafe. Whether it is floods or hurricanes or plane crashes or mass shootings, all around the world is like this, man. It's literally insane. And it is hard to just live in a world where you're always on edge. That is the most challenging part. You're always in fight or flight mode, always in survival mode with your finances and overall in the world. There's just always something happening, always something going on. And it's always bad news as well.
You know what's going on, and you see all the people around you that's like, they're not even paying attention to what's going on. Like, there's the people that's making mud pies. The mud pies is going to be a killer, because when the lights go out, people don't know how to produce their own food, heal their scars and scrapes naturally from leaves and plants that's all around us. And I was just throwing some stuff away the other day, and I was like, dang, I really could be putting this in a bin or something, like saving it, because this could be reused, repurposed for something. Like, we don't know how much we take life for granted by just throwing away things that could be recreated for something else. Like, somebody could use that. I could have broke that person down, used the fabric, or gave it away to somebody that, you know, that's into designing things or creating things, you know. Like, I don't know, we just got Mother Nature and Earth all fucked up. I ain't even gonna hold you, like. And really, I keep telling y'all, like, it's not about how much you can save, it's about your spirit, who you are, what kind of person you are. Like, for the powers that exist, alien, ancestors, spirit guides, God, Jesus Christ, Buddha, whomever, okay? Lord, just save me. Save me. Y'all better wake up. This shit about to get tight. And it's so crazy because there's so much stuff happening everywhere else and we're not paying attention, but that shit is happening. I saw something that shook my spirit the other day. Oh my God. You know it's true, it's happening, but they don't show us that. They're not gonna show us that. They're not gonna show you that. No, for what? Because when it happened to you, it's gonna be like a thief in the night. Not I, said she. Baby, my eyes is open. Y'all better wake the fuck up. For real, it's time to tighten up. It's time to come together like never before and really tighten down on like what this person know how to do, what you know how to do, because survival of the fittest. Only the strong will survive. Let the games begin. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been sitting here a couple of hours trying to write this stuff that I wanted to write about human solidarity and stuff. And I'm having a trouble writing these days. And I think I have a very close relative that's quite sick, and it's not making it easy for me. And then there's just life in general. But the thing I wanted to sort of talk about what was, I believe I'm an optimist. I believe that human beings, yes, we can be horrible. We can be cruel and all of those things. There's no such thing as a static human nature. Human nature is determined by the conditions, the social conditions under which we find ourselves. That's what pressures, that's what human nature is formed by. But I believe there's a general trend, there's a general thread that runs through us. We're collective creatures, we're gregarious creatures. If you look at human history for thousands of years, we came out of the trees, we learned that to hunt together, we've built societies. Collectivism is what made us where we are, what brought us where we are. And so, but with the rise of class society, I don't want to go into all the details about the rise of class society, but what class society does is there is a group, there is a feudalism, let's say, and capitalism and slavery. There is a group above society that governs it, and the rise of the state is part of that development. Because if you're a ruling elite over somebody else, another group of people that produces the wealth of society, you have to have a social organism that helps keep them at bay and helps protect your class rule, and that's what the state is. So what I'm wanted to write about and think about, what I'm thinking about, what I wanted to write about, was the question like of racism, of sexism, of nationalism, and all these things. It's not natural to us. It's not natural to us. We naturally seek solidarity. We are comfortable in most cases when we see people that are different, when we hear different languages. This is what's natural to us. It's not natural when those people, in some way or another, are portrayed as threatening our own ability to feed ourselves and our families. That disrupts it. That's what racism is. They will never solve racism in capitalist society. It's too useful to them. They like to keep it on the back burner because it's very expensive for them. They'd like to keep it on the back burner, but they will never get rid of it. You know, Malcolm X said that you can't have capitalism without racism, and he was absolutely right. And so what I think about myself, I've traveled to so many places. I went all through Iraq when I was 21 years of age. I've traveled a lot and people have been good to me. And the thing is if you think about it, if you take why they keep us apart, because because we learn from each other and we find our similarities and we enjoy the sharing of our lives and our cultures and our feelings together. And if you take, for example, one little example I want to raise is that I said to a friend of mine who's Indian about, a lot of Indian people I've met, and not just them actually, other people that are not of European and Western culture, when you shake hands and their handshake is very weak, and my mum used to call it, he's got a handshake like a wet lettuce, and it's not a good thing in Western culture to not have a strong handshake. And my friend said to me, but in India we don't greet each other that way. We put our hands together like a prayer, and we bow a little bit and we say namaste or whatever. It's a totally different thing. But you wouldn't realize that if you don't mix with these people. But that's why they keep us all apart. They can send 500,000 troops to Iraq to destroy that country, but they couldn't send workers to different countries and exchange working people, because it breaks down the division, and they don't want to break down the division. And the great division in our society, in the world today, is the nation state, is the difference between nations, and I'm English and you're German and you're this, that and the other. I can't stand national anthems. It's singing about I'm better off because I'm smarter than you, I'm braver than you, and everything else because I was born on a piece of land that was different than yours. Everybody's got the same one. It's a disaster, the nation state. It's an obstacle to our development. I don't know, does that make any sense? That's one thing I like about bloody internet. I can say how I feel sometimes.
All this guy said was 100% facts. We are divided on purpose. It is not by mistake that they do this. They do their absolute best to continue to split us apart. Left versus right, this versus this versus this, just to maintain power. That's the only reason why. We are more than them, and yet they have the power. And the one thing that they are afraid of is unity. When we come together, regardless of all of those things that set us apart, but we come under one mind, one goal, that is what they are afraid of. And once we are able to come together, things will begin to change. At that point, we will all see that they're the problem, that the people in power are the ones causing all of these divisions. And once we start to act, that is when things will really change. Other than that, it will remain the same until we are totally fed up and come together. A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
You ever notice how blisteringly fast this country moves when property is threatened, but when it's black people or poor people or working class people, they drag their feet, they look the other way, or they send in the cops. Back in 1973, Assata Shakur said, "The rulers of this country have always considered their property more important than our lives." And 50 some odd years later, it's still true. They'll insure a yacht before they'll insure your health. They'll protect a luxury condo with private security before they make sure that you have clean drinking water. They'll bail out banks at the drop of the hat, but let people starve. And they'll rebuild a Target before they rebuild your neighborhood. This is not new. They enslaved human beings and they called it an economy. They massacred entire towns, Tulsa, Rosewood, because black people had land and wealth. They crushed unions with police and Pinkertons to make sure that the profits kept on flowing. They let Katrina drown an entire city and then handed out contracts to real estate developers. This is not about incompetence, it is about priorities. And the people at the top have always prioritized what they own over who we are. That's why when Wall Street is in trouble, it is an emergency. But when the rent is too high or the air is too dirty or people are rationing insulin, suddenly it becomes too complicated to address. They tell us to calm down, to be peaceful, polite, and patient. Meanwhile, they bomb children in other countries, send police in for evictions, pour poison into our neighborhoods for profit, and lock people in private prisons, pay them cents on the dollar for labor, then sell that labor back to us as American-made. It is slavery with paperwork, and they call it justice. Our lives will always be a footnote in their ledgers until we rise, till we stop begging them to see our humanity and start demanding it together. Because they can repair broken windows, but they are no match for unbroken solidarity.
The ruling class, the bourgeoisie, are trying to take away your ability to think. And I don't just mean your ability to think critically, your ability to analyze information for truth and value. They are trying to also take away your ability to think creatively, your ability to think spiritually and emotionally. Do you know what the ruling class was doing before they decided to defund education as a whole? They were specifically defunding arts education. They were systematically stripping away music and drama classes before they were trying to defund the public education system itself. Even before the implementation of AI, they were trying to dilute the quality of education you got from the public school system. Capitalism requires an unending stream of unthinking and unbelieving workers to keep their machine alive. They are actively pushing right-wing individualist politics and taking away your ability to imagine something more.
It literally feels like we're in the Hunger Games right now, and especially after the Met Gala passed, it's literally giving capital. Let me explain to you something. Do you remember in the beginning of the movie of the Hunger Games, the first movie, right? Katniss and Gale, they were sitting down and they were like out looking into the forest and they were like talking about running away. And then he's like, we should go right now, like the Hunger Games is starting. And then she goes, I'm not gonna watch, because watching is what they wanted you to do because it takes away from the actual problem that's going on. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the celebrities didn't look stunning. I'm not saying their looks weren't iconic. I'm not saying that entertainment is bad. I'm just saying it's giving Hunger Games right now because literally imagine all the people in the Capitol, they're well fed, they're part of the elite, they're celebrating, having parties, and then all the poor people, all the people actually suffering and aren't in that elite category are being forced to watch. And them, it was on a big screen in their little districts. Us, it's on our phones at home. But there are more important things going on. Like, literally, all eyes should be on Rafah right now and the Palestinian people. All eyes should be on Congo and all the people being displaced and killed. Like, I feel like there are more important things going on right now than to be filling the timeline with people talking about, you know, what the Met Gala looks were like. Most people don't understand that, like, one seat at the Met Gala could cost $75,000 a seat. Like, most people with multiple college degrees can't even afford that, let alone afford groceries right now. And we're literally filling the timeline with all these looks and what we think about them. We're talking about the Met Gala, and there are literally students right now at Columbia University who are being stripped of their education. They can't come on campus. They can't get food at their dining hall, and their fellow students have to sneak food out for them to feed them because they got caught protesting and speaking out for Palestine. But let's really talk about it. Imagine being a Columbia University student. Like, you're the brightest mind. You work so hard all your life to get into a prestigious college like Columbia University, an Ivy League school at that. And then you get your education stripped away and you get expelled or kicked out or suspended or whatever the case may be because you decided to use your bright mind to take a stance on the whole Palestine issue that is going on right now. And you use and exercise your right to peacefully protest and freedom of speech. But then now the school is literally sending in police on you to pepper spray you, to literally displace you violently from doing what you have a right to do as an American. Like, what? But you don't see that on, like, newspapers right now. You don't see that, like, being flooded on your timeline. You see the Met Gala looks. I understand they slayed, but, like, people are really losing their lives over standing up for other human beings, and I feel like that should be the spotlight right now, because that was the whole thing in the Hunger Games, is, like, you only saw what the Capitol wanted you to see. You only focused on what the media was telling you to focus on right now, which is, oh, the world is fine. Like, just focus on the beautiful celebrities and the pretty colors and the outrageous outfits. But just like in the Hunger Games, it takes time for everyone to, like, wake up and realize that we're being controlled by the media and what we're seeing on our timeline 24/7 and really focus on the main issue so we can come together to solve it.
Coincidentally, my son asked if we could watch the Hunger Games. He's never watched it before, but because of what's going on, I especially was like, you know what? I think now is a great time to watch the Hunger Games. I'm not going to claim that it's perfect. I'm not going to claim that there isn't anything to criticize, especially with a white savior, etc. But what it's great at is showing inequity. What it's great at is showing how the people in power manipulate the conversation, how they only show you what they want you to see, how they can turn a really shitey thing into them somehow being gracious and giving. It's like the people that I've heard talking on lives, how actually Israel is really giving because they've allowed Palestinians to stay in that land, that they've graciously let them drink their water. So of course they're allowed to take it if they want to. How lucky they are. They haven't wiped them out sooner. The Hunger Games is great at showing how the powerful, how the wealthy divide the masses. Divide us so we can't come together and see what the other people are going through. They separate us in any way that they can, religiously, racially, biologically. And what that does is instead of us seeing it like this, where there's very few up there benefiting from these systems, benefiting from the type of colonization that the world has been going through, the majority of us are down here. And instead of being in one group, which is truly where we are, we've been split into little districts, if you will. And the truth is, we keep ourselves here because we have all the ability in the world to educate ourselves on these other districts and to see where the true problem lies.
Okay, so I don't know about anybody else. However, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm just wondering if there's anybody else out there that feels the way that I feel. I am extremely annoyed with the Olympics and any type of Olympics coverage. It's like I see people posting about the Olympics. I see it on my news feed or whatever the case may be. TikTok even has this little man up here that's like reminding me of like Olympics 2024, and I guess I'm supposed to click on it and look at the coverage and like stats or whatever it is. And I understand America's doing a good job. I guess it's a lot of people from America that's winning these competitions, whatever. Fine. However, I don't understand. so much inflation. Inflation is damn near killing people out here. You can't afford to rent. You can't afford to buy. You can't afford to eat. You can't afford to have children. You can't afford to go to school. You can't afford to stay home. You can't afford to vacation. You can't afford to nothing. You can afford to sit in a house if you even have a house to sit in. And we're worried about the Olympics. Every time someone posts about the Olympics, I get fucking annoyed. I mean, like, I'm annoyed because it's like, yo, all the money that's put into the Olympics, I know that it's over there in Paris or whatever the case may be. I know it's done in France or whatever, but I'm pretty sure we contribute some type of money to the Olympics. No. Take a break from the Olympics, yo, and send out our stipend checks. Send out some stimulus checks, babe. Yeah, PPP back, great. Y'all go get y'all PPP. Like, what the fuck? Don't nobody care about no goddamn Olympics? And am I the only, like, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just need to shut the hell up. But no, I'm sick of the Olympic coverage. I don't care. I don't care about the goal and they biting it and oh, they did a trick. Oh, they flipped, they twist, You know what? I think I figured out why I'm so annoyed. This shit is giving Hunger Games. This shit is giving Hunger Games to me. Like, we the people as a whole are struggling. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta hustle, you gotta work, you gotta do your thing. You can't afford to just sit and chill unless you live at home and that's your own business. But whatever, if you're an adult and you're adulting, we are having a hard fucking time adulting. And then you have this Olympic situation going on, and it's like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Like, where are the checks? Where are the stipends and the stimulus and the this and the that? Like, I don't care about no goddamn people flipping and turning and twisting and doing acrobats and shit. I don't care. Where's the money? And you know what, United States, if y'all contributed any type of money to this event, which I'm pretty sure y'all did, keep that shit in y'all fucking pocket, like I said, and disperse it to us, your own people here that are actually living real life. Like, send us out some checks. Don't send them people over there to the Olympics and make it all pretty and look all nice. Like, we're over that. How long has the Olympics been going on any goddamn way? How many years have we done the Olympics? That's enough. Like, that's enough. Take a break. Give the people some money. Let us get ourselves together. Let us gather our thoughts. Give us a break from whooping our ass, from allowing life and inflation and cost to whoop our ass. And then start the Olympics back up once we... What the hell? Doing this? Why are we still doing this? Especially in the state that the world is in right now. The state that the U.S. is in. And this is not for me to be selfish or anything, but goddamn, like, the people of America, like, hello? I just feel like we're just so out of touch. Like, bitch, don't nobody care about that. Then we got this weird ass election coming up where it's like the option between Kamala or Trump, and I don't know, something about that is just uncomfortable. Like I feel like we're just picking a lesser evil. Like, I don't know, but what I do know is I don't need to know nothing else about the Olympics. And if the U.S. put any money toward the Olympics, y'all needed to save that in y'all pocket and put it towards your people here at home who can't afford shit. I mean, y'all can act, listen, maybe that's why nobody touched on it. Maybe I feel like I'm the only person that says something. Like, I haven't seen anybody say anything about the Olympics being bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It's bullshit.
One thing that I have realized is that entertainment is always a means to distract us from whatever they're doing. If our minds are somewhere else, then we have no power. Then we cannot change anything. A lot of the reasons why there is so much entertainment is for control. They control what we watch. They control what we see and what we don't see. They put all of their strategies into the movies, into the TV shows. They are so bold to do that. They tell us what they're doing. We see it in the movies, and they continue to do it to us. That's literally mental to me. That's insane.
Let me tell you what I don't give a shit about right now. Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Taylor Swift and her sparkly freckles. I don't give a shit about all of the award shows going on and all the stupid celebrities and their stupid outfits. I don't give a shit about any of that. Now, anybody who knows me would be beyond shocked to hear that, because I considered myself the #1 Taylor Swift fan up until, I don't know, until the world got so crazy that it's just not anything I could even have the energy or time to care about. I don't know, that's probably since when. I don't give a shit what politician is on what podcast. I don't give a shit about any billionaire and what they're doing, okay? That's where I'm at. I give a shit that this country is going through what it's going through. I give a shit that people are dying in North Carolina, that people don't have water and food and supplies. I give a shit that there's a second hurricane hitting the west coast of Florida. My head, as a mom of 2 little girls, I cannot believe the condition that we're in life, in this country, in this world. It's horrific. So as Taylor Swift prances into the Chiefs game with her boots and her sparkly freckles with no freaking care in the world, we're all suffering. I'm done with it. It's become very clear to me that there is them and there is us. It's a real life Hunger Games at this point. And I'm effing done.
So you gonna sit here and tell my fat ass that the people who are living not paycheck to paycheck, basically the president, celebrities, the CIA, everybody else that basically got like a lump sum of money, like fucking Jeff Bezos types of level, are the capital? Okay, follow me on this one. The people who are basically never living paycheck to paycheck, they can do whatever the fuck they want, right? District 1, District 2, and District 3. Follow me on this one. The people who don't really need to be living paycheck to paycheck, but sometimes they have to because they spend a little too much because they still got a lot of money, right? District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, maybe District 8 if you're starting to struggle a little bit. Follow me on this one. The people who are living paycheck to paycheck, and I mean like they're eating wish sandwiches. They wish they had a piece of meat in between those 2 fucking buns. District 8, District 9, District 10, District 11, and District 12. You see how I said 8 was maybe? Because it's maybe. You're still in you're still like a second class citizen, right? But to be a third class citizen, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bro, I swear I called this. The second the movie came out, I called this. I really called this. Ain't that some shit? Like, low key, the army is like the reapings, if you want to really think about it, because we're sending people that we don't really need to send into battlefields that we don't really need to fight in. It's not a BR though, but it's worse. Yo, what the really let that marinate real quick. The Hunger Games Book 1 is like carbon copy of what the fuck we're dealing with today. Wow.
I feel like we're living in the Hunger Games. Fires, violence, drones, flooding, hurricanes that washed out entire villages and towns and streets. And 80-mile-an-hour wind. I'm watching this on the news right now, and I'm going, how in the world does all of this? It's like the perfect trifecta to create this huge fire that they can't even control, and it's just burning down people's houses. They can't even get out fast enough. Now we've got snow, we've got freezing temperatures. Like what are we doing? What's going on? It's like we're living in the Hunger Games, and who's going to survive and who's not? Are you going to keep moving to the next level, or are you going to be left behind? Like Katniss Everdeen. That's how I feel right now. I am just praying for all those people. I can't even imagine. Like, I follow Spencer Pratt, and I love him to death. And they just lost their entire house and everything yesterday in these fires. How devastating. I mean, you know, when you think that you have it rough, and then stuff like this happens, you know, people couldn't even get out. That's how fast this is. I mean, I don't even know. Firefighters, they can't even keep up with the fires. They can't even get water. I mean, like, what is going on? It's burning down acres upon acres upon acres, and people are losing everything. I'm praying for all of y'all out in Cali, and that's just horrible. I can't even fathom.
Nobody finds it dystopian that people's idea of luxury right now isn't even luxury.
For the common working class, luxury is not luxury items. Luxury is being able to fill up your cart at the grocery store and have enough food for the week. Luxury is being able to fill up your gas tank and not just put $20 in. Luxury is being able to pay all of your bills and your rent and have money left over in your account's not negative. It's becoming like the Hunger Games out here, and slowly but surely we're headed in that direction quite a lot. If you haven't watched that series of movies, watch it, because you'll see how dystopian this entire thing is. I just talked to my friends about how they afforded a vacation recently, and they said they put it all on their credit card. Because if they don't, the vacation's not going to happen at all. Because that is now a different tier of luxury. This world is insane, where we are saying that going to get groceries and feeding ourselves and our family for an entire week is considered luxury. And not going and signing up for food stamps. Like, it's just really, really scary out there, and it's becoming more and more terrifying every single day. I'm truly scared for what's to come, honestly.
You guys do realize we're already in the Hunger Games. Like, it's not dystopian anymore, it's here. As the world was watching the Capitol's favorite show, the Super Bowl, the one that everybody watches, other districts or other places around the world are literally being... And it's not even the fact of like, oh, we had nothing to do with it, we can't control it, but like what does matter is that it's our money being used to fund it in America. And you know, the people who don't even want to talk about it, like if you bring it up, it's offensive. Like if you brought it up and wanted to talk about what's happening in our world right now, those are the Capitol children. The children who have been raised in such privileges, which is not a bad thing, but they've been raised in such privileges that they don't even want to burst their own bubble of reality. I think of it like this, where it comes in with the privileges and how some people in America don't even realize the privileges they have, and they're not even willing to give up some small ones. You know how in the Capitol there's a scene where they have that liquid where if you drink it, you throw up your food so you can stuff some more in. I think of that in correlation of the whole Starbucks protest. I'm not going to sit here and tell you whether or not you should go get your Starbucks. Like, that is a personal decision. I can't tell you what to do. I personally have decided not to go to Starbucks. I got free food on my birthday, so I stole food from them. But still, I've been trying to just not get Starbucks. I don't need it. There's other places. But you try to tell someone like, hey, you know, we're kind of doing this boycott where we're not going to Starbucks anymore. It's just not a great company to support, and you can go to a billion different other places. Oh my god, it's the end of the world. Oh my god, it's like not even that big of a deal. Like, I should be able to go get my Starbucks. Like, why can't you guys just like shut up about it? It's literally just Starbucks. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. That's how the Capitol would act if you asked them to stop throwing up their food, to eat more food, so that way they can give more food to the other people in the districts. We can't control where the food goes, okay? We're in the Capitol. We can't control that all the food comes here. We don't have control of the food that gets dispersed. So if I don't eat the food that's here, it's not like it's gonna go to the districts. It's all about the choices we make. It's about our morals. It's about who we are as a person and what we stand for. Because if you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything, which y'all are falling for everything. I'm just saying, let's stop being ignorant puppets that are just controlled for the betterment of the government.
The Hunger Games was just symbolism of how people in higher positions in life literally watch and spectate as everybody in lower positions fight and scurry and scavenge to actually be able to survive and be able to make it through the next day. Literally the same way that we have sports like UFC and boxing, and a bunch of people gather around, gather sponsors, like this certain person more, like that certain person more. It might go in this person's favor, that person's favor, and they're sitting there literally killing each other just to get recognition, glory, freaking food. That is the same thing. The Hunger Games is actually very messed up, and I could see us going that direction. I mean, we're already pretty much there. People are fighting to live, but hey. Also, once they see that people are starting to work together and come together and unify, that's when all hell breaks loose, because they know that unification is bad.
Oligarchy being the most searched word in the last 24 hours after Biden's goodbye speech is just sending me. One, this is the most lucid I have seen that man in 4 years in office, but also, what is happening with our public education system? Why don't people know what an oligarchy is? And the fact that he said it's going to happen, I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? The definition literally says a small group of people that influence. What do you guys think are the people who have money, the 1%ers out there? Who do you think is really running the show? Like, let's be honest, putting the people in office for their own agendas. It's going to be the people who have money. We're already in an oligarchy. I'm so confused. I don't know why not everybody is understanding this. Hey, don't eat my plant. People who have dogs know. But do we not take government anymore? I'm genuinely curious because I haven't been in high school in a long time, and I'm just trying to figure out what they're teaching in the school system today. Do kids still learn about the government structures, or is that a no?
A lot of times Americans will bash Russians, but we have an oligarchy too, just like they do. We have the same thing here. Few people and their friends in power running the show. Over there, few people and their friends in power running the show and calling the shots.
All just watching like the Hunger Games, and like, this is our real life. Like, this is straight up the Hunger Games. The Met Gala, like, I know all y'all got initiated to go there, but I'm really more curious about the guys that are not there, that are funding it, like the real, like the puppeteers. That's like more interesting to me, because I feel like they're like sitting in a corner like, oh, Yes, look at them all dressed in their absurdities. Like, you know how there used to be freak shows back in the day? I feel like the really, really, really rich people that are actually pulling the strings of all of this, like, just laugh at the celebrities. Like, they're court jesters. And we're, like, actual peasants to them. That's, like, what I really think. But yeah, anyway, I'm probably not in District 1. Maybe I'll say I'm definitely not in District 12, but...
So this term oligarchy, do people know that Bernie Sanders has been saying we're headed toward an oligarchy for over 30 years? I think the first video recorded of him saying that was in 1993. The fact that he's trying to use that with AOC now to stir up hysteria and concern, like he's been saying that through every Democrat president we've had over the last 30 years. What's the panic about right now? Like we're headed to an oligarchy. He said it during Clinton years. He said it during Bush's years. He said it during Obama. Like, so now Trump's president, so now we need to pay attention to these things. Like, it's fascinating the type of information you can find if you just research it and find that this hysteria people are drowning up right now over Trump being president has been made up and it's been going on for so long. These taglines like oligarchy, it is so boring to listen to at this point because it's been said so many times. I hope that they find a new tagline for the Democratic Party. Actually, I actually hope they don't, because if they continue down this path, I feel like they're never going to win an election again. But at the same time, I hope they find somebody who's a leader and somebody who can lead them to what a victory looks like and what common sense and what the people want. I don't know who that is. It's not Jasmine Crockett. It's not Bernie Sanders. It's not AOC. It's not Ilhan Omar. It's none of them. So I don't know what that looks like. But I hope people who do really like the Democrat Party can find what a leader is and find somebody that they can look to.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.